How are we doing? You alright?
Fine, man. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad at all, cheers. Lovely to meet you. I'm Giz, by the way, from Music Talkers. What you been up to today?
Well, funnily enough, in the studio, we just finished the record a few months ago, and now we're sort of back in doing like just sort of bits and bobs and B-sides and that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's nice, man. I've got a little studio in Brighton, so it could be worse. Yeah, not looking forward to lockdown 2.0.
No, mate. I don't think anyone is. I mean, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's the right thing?
I don't know anything anymore. I don't understand if it's a lockdown, why it's like, yeah, we're going to lock down, but in a week. That seems to be such a peculiar decision. It's like, if it's needed, then just fucking do it. France is like, cool, we're locking down tomorrow. I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's such a baffling time, isn't it? Have you been massively affected by it as well, yeah, work-wise?
Personally, yeah, I'm a music teacher. I teach in school, so that's all been wiped out. I can still teach privately from my office and stuff and over Zoom, but yeah, it's been like Zoom life. I bet it has for you as well, hasn't it?
It's been a lot of Zooms. Yeah, a lot of Zoom. At least we can do this, you know? 5 years ago, this would have been tough, so yeah, we're lucky in that sense.
In regards to the new album, have you recorded it all in your own studio?
Yeah, it wasn't really meant to be like that. Me and my engineer Chris have desperately been trying to sort of find a barn or somewhere, a bigger space to set up a studio. It's all kind of fallen through, so it's basically my little basement. It's pretty lo-fi, but it's been great. It's been really fun, actually, and a different experience to the usual process, yeah.
I mean, obviously we just naturally got going there. I had a few other questions, but I'm sort of jumping to, talking about the album, Songs for the Drunk and Broken Hearted. So it's released on the 8th of Jan, and you've just released a single off it, a song for the drunk and broken hearted. I was watching the video earlier because it just came out the other day, didn't it? Who came up with like the clown theme, and what does it mean for the album and the single? Do you know what I mean? I've noticed the front cover of the album has a guy looking a bit desolate with a bottle of something in his hand. Is it like everyone has a mask sort of thing?
I think so, yeah. I went through a breakup just before lockdown. I wrote a ton of songs then, like not the only singer-songwriter who's gone through a breakup and written tons of songs. It's obviously a very vulnerable and fragile time, and like you're very in touch with stuff. But like most people who break up, you end up going out and getting pissed and making some weird decisions, and that 2 or 3 months afterwards, when you're so used to the warmth and security that a relationship brings, and suddenly you haven't got that and you're out in the world on your own, it can be a very cruel time, I think. Very lonely time. I think the clown represents, that very English mentality of like, everything's fine, stiff upper lip, it's all good, no problem, just go and get pissed, have a drink, it will be fine.
Yeah, drink it away.
It just reminds me of that clown mentality where they're like, everything's all right, but really you can see in the eyes that it's not. And I think it's a powerful image, and I think for the video, it really, really works with that song, because the juxtaposition of the sort of quite up-tempo, sort of, like boppy, guitar-y thing, and then the lyrics are actually, as you say, quite desolate. And I love that. The Smiths used to do that a lot, and The Cure and those kind of bands. And I love that play between the two ideas.
Oh man, you brought me on to one of my questions. So that was basically, I've had the pleasure of listening to some samples off the album today. And one that really stood out for me, because it sounds a bit different from the usual sound, was What You're Waiting For. And it reminds me of the man, Johnny Marr. So are you into the Smiths? Because that guitar, that electric guitar part, I was just like, oh, I love it.
That's so nice to hear, man, because for me it's very Smiths-esque. My electric guitarist, Benny Edgar, is a flipping genius. I love what he does. And yeah, that was kind of the sort of brief that I sent him, because it was all remote recording this time around. I was like, mate, yeah, this could be 80s kind of Smithsy feel, and I love what he did, man. I really do. I'm a big fan of the Smiths. That sort of jangly Johnny Marr thing with Morrissey's sort of, well, all I can say is with the Morrissey thing, like the way those two used to play off each other was magical. I think such a brilliant combination.
The best. I just love it. And like I say, when I was listening through the sample, and because you do have a distinctive sound, I feel, with sort of, there's a lot of acoustic picking going on. I think you've got a distinctive voice. So, I can always tell one of your songs and all that. But that song for me just felt a bit different. And yeah, really impressed. So I just wanted to say that. Just going back to what you were saying about the album before, and writing songs about breakup, I think for me personally, because I'll be honest, I'd never heard of you until I heard Let Her Go.
You and most of the world.
But mate, absolute banger, and congratulations with all the success from it. And I think it's really relatable, that's what it was. And my dad, I remember him sharing the video to that song on Facebook saying, oh, we've all been there, mate. Because I knew that him and my mum had split up back in the day and all that sort of thing. But what impresses me just as much is how frequently you release music. Do you not get writer's block?
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely times when I don't write, but I've always written so much that it's never freaked me out. I think writer's block comes when you overthink it. Like a lot of other things in life, if you overthink it, then it becomes problematic.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I've always written so much that I'm usually an album ahead of myself. So I'm never in that position where I'm like, fuck, I've got to write. I haven't released anything for 2 years and I haven't got any new songs. Because I'm always ahead of myself, there's no pressure, and as a result, I just keep on writing.
No, good on you.
Yeah, I'm lucky with that, man. I'm lucky. And I think, yeah, the Let It Go thing, it's baffling now. What is it? Almost 3 billion YouTube views and 1.4 billion on Spotify, whatever. Like, it doesn't even feel like my song anymore. Like, it's obviously such a blessing for any musician to have a mega hit like that. But the interesting thing is trying to explain to people that it's more than just that. You know what I mean? Like, as you said, and it's no problem at all, but most people know me for that song. Of course they do. But my challenge since that song has been like, yeah, but there's 13 other albums.
Of course, yeah.
Just trying to lead people into the rest of Passenger is the interesting challenge for us, yeah.
I think that song, though, it opens up the door to the rest of the music, doesn't it? That's what it did for me anyway. I thought, I'll check out the rest of his stuff, sort of thing.
Exactly, yeah.
So, obviously, releasing the new album on the 8th of January 2021, and Andrew, the CEO of Music Talker, said to me that you're inviting people to a special evening at the Royal Albert Hall on the 10th of January. What's that all about? Is it an online thing?
It is. Basically, because we can't do like an album launch, obviously, with the current situation, it's not a live gig. It's not live from the Albert Hall. Like, you know, a few artists have been doing those kind of live gigs that people sort of stream and pay for. It's more of like, I play 10 or 11 songs. There's a bit of an interview. There's a bit about the album. Basically, you get access to that if you pre-order the album. So anyone who pre-orders, it's just a nice little piece for them. You can pay for it separately as well. But really, we just wanted to do something around the album that sort of just welcomed everybody in and saying thank you to the fans.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be really nice, actually.
It's a great idea, and is there not something going on where if people buy a physical copy of the album, you've got some partnerships going on with the Eden Project? Could you tell us a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, it's really nice, man. So obviously in this day and age, creating any physical product, you've got to think about the environmental impact. So pretty much all of the materials for the vinyl and the CD are fully recycled, or at least partly. Even like the shrink wrap is biodegradable and stuff. And, you know, everyone can do this stuff. It's not that much more expensive. It's all possible. So we're always trying to, you know, lessen the footprint.
Yeah.
And on top of that, with every copy that's sold, we're working with the Eden Reforestation Project too. With every album that's sold, they plant a tree, basically.
Nice, well, that's brilliant.
If we could sell 60 million albums, we could single-handedly replant the Amazon.
So, Andrew, who I was talking about before, CEO and creator of Music Talkers, my sister met him backstage once and said he's well sound. That's what she said about you. And after this chat, I concur. You seem well sound.
Well, that's 2 people, man. Now I've just got to convince everyone else.
And, you know, at Music Talkers, we like to give artists and bands a platform to deliver any kind of personal message to your fans. And I was wondering if there's anything you'd like to say in wrapping it up.
I think this year has been obviously a fucking disaster for everyone. But for me, I was very grateful before. I think, you know, coming from busking, coming from such humble beginnings, to now have a really solid, big fan base is a wonderful thing. But I think this year has really made me understand in a different way how fucking lucky I am. Just releasing this new single the other day and the incredible response from all around the world, it's pretty humbling, man. It's pretty mind-blowing, and I mean that genuinely. So yeah, to anybody who has been listening for a while, or if you're new to the project, just a massive thanks really for listening and for the support. I
wanted to keep things short and sweet because I bet you're just on an absolute Zoom mission promoting the new single and the album and stuff. I just want to say all the best with it, and I hope next year you can get gigging again and get promoting it and enjoying yourself.
Mate, it's been a real pleasure. Thanks for your time, and hope you get back to your teaching soon as well, man.
Cheers.
All the best. Bye, mate.
See you later. Cheers.